Federal government commences emergency repairs on deplorable roads and bridges in all geopolitical zones. Quest to end tuberculosis. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu inaugurates new diagnostics machines in every state and Federal Capital Territory. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari hints at provision of incentives and technical know-how for states willing to invest in agriculture. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Comfort Fashion. The presidency has staunchly disregarded or disagreed with the Daily Trust's on one of its recent editorial over the state of Nigerian economy. The special advisor to the president on media and communications, Sunday Dare, in detailed statements, puts the issue in right perspective.
It emphasizes that critiques should be fact-driven, not pessimistic or misleading. A statement signed by the special advisor to the president on media and public communications, Sunday Dare, highlights that the government is actively addressing these issues through targeted policies aimed at long-term stability and prosperity, contrary to the editorial's bleak portrayal. It also refutes specific claims in the editorial, such as the misinterpretation of a UNICEF projection on hunger, clarifying it was a worst-case scenario, assuming no mitigation. It details government interventions, including grain releases, emergency nutrition support, and food security measures. Additionally, the statement disputes the claim of a worthless naira, noting that the currency is recovering due to reforms, and outlines a tax and social protection initiatives like the school feeding program, cash transfers, and MSME grants. The administration stresses unity and collective effort in addressing challenges, pointing to global factors like food price inflation, while underscoring Nigeria's mitigation efforts.
The Federal Ministry of Works has commenced emergency repairs on all roads and bridges that are in very deplorable condition in the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation. In a press briefing, Works Minister says the ongoing palliative measures are sequel to presidential directive.
Immediate action in all this location, because the chain is as strong as the weakest link. If any sections of this road or bridges, gets cut, then the movement is impaired. So you won't be able to move from one point to the other.
Pointing out some of these projects requiring emergency repairs across the zones, Minister Umahi also explains what is being done to prevent overladen trucks from damaging the beams of already constructed bridges.
It's going to be 6 cm, lower than the bottom of every beam in every flyover, and we're going to have spikes. If you are coming and your overburden load is going to touch our, beams to bring it down, that spikes will bring you down first.
On the social media reports regarding the failed portion of the sand-filled shoulders of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Minister Umahi urges Nigerians to disregard the reports.
That thing is not any structural failure at all. It is within whether it is whether it is stone base you are using, or sand, or laterite, it is bound to happen. The moment water is, pounding on it, it has to erode. But you can go from Ahmad Bello, where we have completed, and you find out whether you find such a thing.
The federal government is open to collaborating with subnational entities and private partners to enhance Nigeria's food security. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says the government will provide incentives and technical know-how for states willing to invest in agriculture. He was speaking during his visit to a rice plantation in Nasarawa State. Musa Baba Aliu has the details.
This is 1,300 hectares rice plantation under the Nasarawa State Agricultural Development Program. The plantation is located in Jangwa, Yaway local government area of the state. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, and his host, the state governor, visited the plantation. Due to the muddy nature of the plantation, the governor and his visitor rode a tractor for almost 3 hours to inspect the farm. The minister commended the state governor for his initiative in investing significant resources in agriculture. He said President Tinubu's vision is for the country to expand areas under cultivation by 500,000 hectares, with most of it coming from subnational efforts.
It is something that is in alignment with the renewed hope of His Excellency Mr. President to increase food production, to increase productivity and yield, and this is exactly what it is today. So I hope and wish that a lot of the subnationals would emulate what His Excellency is doing, and this is a welcome idea. And
Governor Sule said the mission is to cultivate 10,000 hectares to boost the state's rice production output and create jobs. The governor thanked President Bola Tinubu and the Minister of Agriculture for the support the state is receiving in its social and economic development.
All that we have done, roughly you can see only 3,300 hectares out of the 10,000 hectares of the state government. So which means there is at least another 6,700 to be done. By the time we do that, the number of youth that you are seeing today, that are roughly that we have from the beginning to now about 500 youths, it will now be thousands of youths.
Apart from rice, the state government, in partnership with private farm, is engaged in sugarcane plantation, which will significantly reduce Nigeria's sugar importation. From Lafia, Nasarawa State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The ongoing upgrade of the Alau Dam project, situated a few kilometers away from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, is expected to be completed and put to use for consumption, irrigation and hydroelectric power purposes before March 2027. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Telumun Utsev, who gave the assurance during an on-the-spot assessment of progress of work done so far, dispelled rumors on possible recurrence of flood as speculated.
It could be recalled that upgrade of the Alau Dam project in Borno State commenced in March this year following the release of 80 billion naira by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to avert repetition of the unforgettable 2024 flood disaster that claimed lives and unquantifiable amount of property. This visit by the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation is therefore to ensure that no aspect of the reconstruction of Alau Dam is compromised, in line with the expectations of federal and state governments as well as concerned individuals.
From October of this year till March 2027, the dam will be fully constructed, well upgraded, and we are very happy to Mr. President. We want to thank Mr. President so much for what he's doing for our dear country, Nigeria. He is doing this around the country, and that is the reason why I'm here today, to inspect and see by myself the work that is ongoing.
The minister allayed fears of residents against any looming flood in the first phase of the upgrade, reiterating that adequate security measures have been put in place throughout the exercise. Professor Joseph Telumun Utsev called for continuous support and cooperation, especially on the part of inhabitants of Alau community, for overall upgrade of the facility. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
Local production of military hardware to enhance internal security operations and cut capital flight is a target of the federal government, and this will soon be achieved. Speaking at the official unveiling of the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, the 7G headquarters in Abuja, the Minister of State for Defense, Mohammed Bello, described the establishment of the facility as a strategic move aimed at tackling the bottlenecks associated with its procurement. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
The fight against insurgency is receiving a new boost as service chiefs and security experts converge on Abuja for the official unveiling of the headquarters of the DICON D7G. With the evolving global security challenges, the Minister of State for Defense emphasized the need for the production of military hardware locally to enhance ongoing internal security operations.
The establishment of DICON D7G comes at a critical time when we strive to enhance our defense capability. This joint venture is expected to play a key role in localizing production of strategic defense equipment, thereby reducing dependence on import.
The only way we can move forward in terms of meeting our operational challenges is for us to localize production of military hardware.
The DICON Act of 2023 empowers the corporation to partner with reputable companies to facilitate technology transfer.
We are charting a new course for local production of military hardware, which includes armaments, armored vehicles, protective gear, and other mission-critical equipment that meets both the operational requirements of the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
The company's platform is providing employment to skilled retired military officers and men in factory operations, administration and logistics in defense equipment production in Nigeria.
Security experts are optimistic reliance on foreign arms will soon reduce. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Operation Clean Sweep of the nation's capital, Abuja, to get rid of criminal elements appears to be recording successes following recent breakthroughs. However, to consolidate on the gains, people must be safety conscious and really avail useful information to security agents in order to act swiftly and stop vandalizing public infrastructure. Aisha Bashir reports.
The Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is reputed to be one of the fastest growing cities in Nigeria, but vandalism and other criminal activities in the city centers, settlements and shanties stressing security and posing environmental risk. It is feared that suspected criminal elements hibernate in such places, hence the recent move by authorities to comb them, resulting in major clampdowns.
We have been able to sanitize the FCT. We have a lot of miscreants, within and around the FCT, and most of these miscreants, some of them in the course of our anti-vandal operation, because of our protection of critical national assets. We arrested a number of them.
One cannot be too careful, they say. Hence, these are safety tips to residents of the FCT.
Before going into a car at night, we do have the privilege of saying, okay, let us go where it is more or less advantage, maybe in terms of where people are there, because we cannot just go to a place where we don't know to enter a vehicle. It is risky.
Route different between boarding on the roadside and entering park, because somewhere here, a driver just lost one of the two cars. You get, but because it's in the park, they took it and dropped it for you. Whenever it comes, you take it. If you miss any of your luggage, if it's in the park that you boarded, you go back and pick your luggage. But if it's not on the roadside, there is no way you get it.
It's safe to say this multi-agency approach to restoring order, curb urban crime and reclaiming public spaces across the FCT is the much-needed breath of fresh air to restore hope among residents. Aisha Bashir, NTA News.
We'll be back after the break with more reports. This is NTA News 24.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Bus, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Let's have credible elections at the local government so that these credible people can manage the funds of local government properly.
There are a lot of respected traditional rulers in the state who can say, look, enough of this thing. Mr. Governor, welcome. Thank you for coming. When you win, what will you do?
I was the first woman that mobilized women within the local government to form the National Council of Women Society by creating awareness in women that they must serve, they must be part of what is happening within their community.
If you stop expenditure on infrastructure, how do you now attract investments?
The state governors, the presidency, that the federal government and the local government are all waiting for revenue from crude oil.
Every state has something peculiar. So the emphasis now, if your local government has something peculiar to that particular local government, the emphasis should be keep producing that particular product.
We need to do three things. Prevent the ability of the terrorist groups to generate funding, their ability to recruit, and then their ability to access weapons.
The traditional ruler gives me a title. I sit in the front row in the church, or if I'm going to mosque, when I'm coming, people are passing in God's own house. What am I doing? I'm mentoring a new generation who think that the only way to be taken seriously is to be seen to have a lot of money.
Good Morning Nigeria, live every weekday between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the NTA.
Effort to rewrite the story of tuberculosis in Nigeria have gotten new wings with the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu's inauguration of new diagnostics machines across all states and the Federal Capital Territory. Uche Ugochukwu reports that this is to boost early diagnosis, especially in hard-to-reach and underserved communities.
Coughing for more than 2 weeks, fatigue, night sweats, weight loss and death were the stories of Janet Ahmed's family until she got tested for TB in 2019.
Mine started. So after long, the white doctors took my sample and told me I had tuberculosis and it's curable.
Janet's tale reflects the case of many in Nigeria, which ranks top among countries most affected by TB in Africa. Yet, over half of those infected are never diagnosed.
Tuberculosis still remains a global burden in terms of health, in terms of mobility and mortality, despite it being preventable and also curable.
With the help of TB diagnostic machines, we can achieve early, rapid and accurate detection of tuberculosis, quickly identify drug-resistant cases.
WHO is setting norms and standards on TB prevention, diagnosis and care, providing technical support and capacity building to strengthen health system at all levels.
This situation is fast changing with this batch of new TB diagnostic machines donated by the Renewed Hope Initiative of the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, who was represented by the wife of Kwara State Governor, Dr. Olufolake Abdulrazak.
These diagnostic machines will be deployed across Nigeria to enhance rapid, accurate TB detection, especially in underserved areas. They will help break the dangerous chain of transmission by ensuring that those infected are quickly diagnosed and placed on treatment. It is important to say that to end TB in Nigeria requires not only machines and medication, It demands resources, including human, financial, technical, and political. As such, I take this moment to emphasize the importance of increasing and sustaining domestic resources in our national TB response.
We are working hard under the direction of the President to ensure that drugs, other tests, the human resources are available, and integrating TB care into the primary healthcare system so that our compatriots, like the advocates that we've had, will not suffer needlessly from a disease that is indeed curable. It could be preventable. And by working between the federal government, states, and local government, I am sure, with the leadership that we have in our country, we can be able to achieve this objective.
Through this gesture, health advocates say every local clinic in Nigeria should one day be able to test for TB and also treat it. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
A leadership in Nigeria's health sector continues to call for the urgent release of the 108 billion naira allocated for immunization in the 2024 national budget, warning that delays pose a serious threat to maternal and child health outcomes. Most recently, the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Health Services, Amos Magaji, reiterated this call, emphasizing that immunization is a life-saving intervention that must be prioritized, particularly in a country like Nigeria, which bears one of the highest maternal and infant mortality rates in the world.
It on us right now that the budget for health, especially some critical components like immunization, vaccinating our children, should not wait. So some component of health should actually be in the first line charge. Now we are talking about releases that are supposed to have been done since 2024. Now we are in August 2025. So we can no longer tolerate that money meant for vaccines are kept or not released. We want to know why and how. And of course, before this conversation, I've already demanded that any letter that was written to the appropriate agency that has to do with the release of those funds should be made available to us, so that we'll also use our own office to track, to follow up, and to push for all those money to be released.
Reaffirming his committee's commitments, Magaji described health spending not as a cost, but as a necessary investment in the nation's future. Across Africa, a big shift is happening, led by a new generation determined to own their story. These young change makers are not just keeping up with global trends, they are setting the pace, rewriting the rules, and reshaping the narrative. Alika Opanachiarua reports that the Future Cast Africa Conference 2025 is at the heart of this movement.
Time when Nigeria is tackling youth restiveness, seeking to rebrand its global image and attract serious investments, Future Cast Africa could not have come at a better time. The conference is opening doors for Nigerian youth to show the world their creativity, talent, and limitless potentials.
We are coming in one room to showcase Africa brand because we see Africa as a talented and a growing place where everybody can grow, where everybody can develop, and where everybody can stand tall.
With the theme, Branding Your Identity with Innovation, the 2025 edition of the conference is all about giving young African brands the mindset, tools, and strategy to succeed in today's digital fast global economy.
The technology is there, the platforms are there, but we are the ones not accepting them and using them to move ourselves forward.
From tech to media, design to entrepreneurship, the focus is on more than just building a name. It's about building a brand that is deeply rooted in identity, culture, and purpose. Participants are learning how to stay authentic while going global.
One thing I particularly want to take home is that a lot of Nigerians Nigerian youths need to understand what it means to start from where they are.
It's a very timely event and it's very relevant because a lot of people, especially young people, struggle with the idea of branding. I think it's one of the reasons why Africa seems to be quite suppressed, because we are not really building a brand that's speaking what we are doing.
Whether it's fashion infused with heritage, apps designed for local impact, or storytelling through film and digital art, the message from the organizers is clear. Africa's identity doesn't need to change to fit the future. It needs to lead. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTA News.
On that, we end the news. Thanks for watching. I am Comfort Fashion.